Today, we are going to be pinning the Krig up against the QBZ. What's going on, you guys, and welcome back. I am very excited to be bringing you guys yet another Which is Better. Let me be clear, both of these assault rifles are actually quite similar, but there are some key differences that make them actually quite different. Without wasting your time, if you guys enjoy the video, hit the like button. Helps the algorithm tremendously, and I value that so much. Thank you, and subscribe for more content released just like this every single day. So let's go ahead and start with the Krig. If you fit the mold of a traditional main assault rifle player, the Krig, so long as you have the right attachments equipped, which we'll get to in a minute here, this weapon has no recoil whatsoever. In fact, it's comparable to, let's say, the double grip ICR from Black Ops 4. And if you didn't play Black Ops 4, man, was a double grip ICR certainly a banger. As for pros, this weapon offers you the most reliability, accuracy, and dependability regardless of what range you're getting your engagements in. Especially with the Ranger barrel on this thing, with the bullet velocity being increased by 100%, this will not let you down. And if you don't know what bullet velocity is, having a fast bullet velocity is obviously a great thing. It basically means that the bullets have a fast travel time. Even though this weapon only has one major pro, which is of course dependability, accuracy, reliability, regardless of what range you get your engagements into, the Krig doesn't really have any cons. But if I may add one con, of course, if you find yourself in an engagement up against a sub player at the close and even close medium range, you are most likely going to get put back into the respawn screen. Regarding the overall speed of the Krig, it's worth mentioning that this is not a heavy/slow assault rifle. There are assault rifles out there that have LMG-like qualities, which can have its pros, but the major con to having an LMG-like assault rifle is feeling like you're bogged down. Overall speed in general just feels much slower on those types of assault rifles, but the Krig does not have those qualities. Certainly, this is not a fast AR either. Outside of the bullet velocity being quite fast, this is not a fast AR, but it's also not a slow AR in terms of overall speed. Now, what do I mean by that? Your overall movement speed isn't fast, but it's not slow either. It's right up the middle and it feels very modest. Aim down sight time and sprint to fire time are not fast, not slow, right up the middle and feel again very modest. And the same can be said for anything, including rate of fire. Nothing is fast, nothing is slow. It feels pretty balanced. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about the QBZ. Like the Krig, although not identical, the QBZ is also a reliable and accurate AR. Before we get into the pros, let's go ahead and talk about the cons. We'll do this in reverse, so that way you guys can get a good understanding of exactly what core differences there are between the Krig and the QBZ. As far as a con is concerned, I can only think of one once again, and I can tell you right now that at those long to very long range engagements, let's say cross map, the QBZ is not going to offer you the most reliability and accuracy like the Krig can. Even with all the right attachments to control that recoil, there's not going to be any recoil to control per se, but there is going to be, let's say, what I like to refer to as a sway kick. The truth of the matter is that the longer you are from your opponent, the more pronounced that sway kick is going to be, and there's nothing you can do to control that. However, it's worth mentioning that that doesn't become a problem until you get into those long to very long range engagements. This is not an issue from close, medium, even medium to long, but at the long to very long range, it is an issue. And really, it's not that big of a deal, but it is worth mentioning. On the flip side, the QBZ can do everything that the Krig can do except faster. So things like your handling and movement speed are noticeably faster than the Krig, which includes things like your sprinting speed, your strafing speed, etc. Even including things like your rate of fire, your ADS time, and your sprint to fire time are more competitive with sub players than it probably is with the Krig. Which of course means then that you can get into those close and close medium range engagements with your sub players, and it is not exactly going to be a death sentence for you. The takeaway from the QBZ is that it has much more run and gun potential, however it can still serve your needs as a main AR player. When making the decision which one of these assault rifles to main, it's important to take into consideration that the QBZ obviously doesn't offer you that reliability at those long range engagements. The takeaway from the Krig is that it does offer you that reliability regardless of how far away your opponent is. The trade-off for the Krig, however, is that, again, reminding you that if you do get into an engagement up close with the sub player, it probably means you're going to be put back into the respawn screen. From my perspective, the QBZ is a much more versatile weapon, yielding itself to a whole variety of playstyles. The Krig is not nearly as versatile, but what the Krig can do and what it's good at, it does it over and exceptionally well. Now, I can't speak for everybody here, but I know for myself, most of the time what happens as an AR player, I will get into those close range engagements with the sub player and I need to be able to defend myself. What happens much less are those long range cross map engagements. Those happen way less frequently than, let's say, those close range ones. But in those engagements, cross map, where it's a clutch situation where it means win or loss and you need that one bullet, and that one bullet makes a massive difference. Having that comfort and peace of mind of having a reliable, accurate, dependable weapon, regardless of the range, can be critical to getting that W. So I'm curious to hear from you guys. Are you guys looking for an assault rifle that has more run and gun potential, is perhaps more versatile? Or perhaps you'll take an AR that can fit your needs as a traditional main AR player and you're okay with perhaps a little less versatility. Before we conclude today's video, I do want to go over with you and talk about the class setup so that way you guys can get the best setup for you in league play and pubs. Doesn't matter what you're playing. These are going to be the best classes, and we will talk about a variety as well. Starting with the Krig, let's go ahead and talk about the optics. So Millstop Reflex and Microflex LED are two of the most popular. I'd say as far as league play is concerned, 95% of the players are going to use one of these two optics. You can use anything you want to use, but those two optics I think are going to be the absolute best. Let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the attachments. For muzzle, we do have infantry compensator, which is going to help with vertical recoil. For the barrel, we do have the Ranger barrel, which is going to increase your bullet velocity by 126%. No laser sight whatsoever. For underbarrel, let's go ahead and talk about this for a second here. So we do have field agent grip, which is, again, what about 90% of the players who use the Krig are going to use this. I do want to mention here that if you want more sprinting speed, the speed grip is going to be great. The field agent grip is going to offer you the most in terms of accuracy, which again, you want to build off the qualities that the weapon already possesses, especially with the way you're going to be using the Krig. Vertical and horizontal recoil is going to be the best. You want to control that essentially, and so the field agent grip is going to help you get there. However, if you don't want any cons, you just want pros on your attachments, the foregrip for horizontal recoil control is also exceptional, but most of what people run is going to be the field agent grip. Again, if you want more speed, you can go with the speed grip. That's entirely your call. Next up, we have a 40 round, and also I want to include in my notes here, it's important to note that you certainly can go jungle style mag. Nobody seems to use this in league play. That's important to mention here. However, there is one extreme here. People usually use the 40 round or the 50 round fast mag. Now, the 50 round fast mag are for those of you guys out there that are ADSing a lot. For those of you guys who are human turrets, you guys know where the opponent, you guys have perhaps a lot of game sense. This is going to be amazing. You have 50 bullets at your disposal. Yes, in exchange, you have negative 25. You do have, yes, negative 25 ADS time. But again, if that doesn't matter to you because you're going to be ADSing all the time anyways, there are players that I have met that use the 50 round fast mag. And again, you do get to reload faster as well. You don't just get that 50 bullets in a single clip. Next up, of course, airborne elastic wrap and stock, Raider stock. Go ahead and conclude with the QBZ attachments. And as you guys will know, these attachments are identical, but we're going to go ahead and go over it anyways. And again, we will be talking about the differences that you may want to take advantage of. Starting with the optics here, Millstop Reflex and Microflex LED are two of the most common. Couldn't agree more that you guys should use either one of those, whichever you prefer. As for muzzle, infantry compensator is going to help you clamp down on that vertical recoil. The Ranger barrel is going to help you with bullet velocity, granting you an extra 100% bullet velocity, which is amazing. No laser sight whatsoever once again. For underbarrel, again, let's go ahead and talk about the difference here. So field agent grip is going to help you with vertical and horizontal recoil. However, since this weapon does have much more run and gun potential, comparatively speaking to, let's say, the sub players, the speed grip on this one, I think, has much more use than the Krig. So on the QBZ, if you want more movement speed, you want a faster sprinting move speed, the speed grip is going to be excellent if you're looking for that run and gun potential more so. Now the foregrip, again, if you don't want any cons whatsoever on your attachments, which there are many of you guys out there that are like that, and I even go for foregrip as well. Foregrip is going to grant you 50% horizontal recoil controls. But for me personally, I like to use this weapon. Whenever I do, I like to use the field agent grip because I want to clamp down as much as I possibly can on the vertical and horizontal recoil. And even without the speed grip, it still has plenty of run and gun potential. Next up, 40 round drum is going to be the very best. I've never seen anybody utilize anything else outside of that. And what's standard is, of course, airborne elastic wrap and Raider stock. That's going to go ahead and conclude today's video. If you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to see a video perhaps about a particular set of weapons, compare the two, let me know in the comment section. I really appreciate you guys for watching all the way through to the end. Certainly not everybody will, but you did, and I appreciate that. I hope that you have hit the like button by now. If you haven't, consider doing so, and subscribe for more content just like this every single day. And I do want to mention, of course, I do value my subscribers, so thank you so much to those of you guys who have made the decision to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.